Hey everyone, Steve again. You can cook it. Today I'm going to make dinner and I'm going to make my ginger pork. It's really a simple recipe. As you can see, I'm just simply peeling out. This is not quite a pound, but roughly a pound, close enough. Ground pork. This is a 93, yep, 93% lean. Go ahead and throw that in your pan. Now, with that, let me go ahead and wash up. I've got the heat turned up fairly high in the pan because I like a nice burn on this. I'm going to go ahead and throw in some corn and peas, about a little bit more than half a cup of each. And I'm a big fan of putting in some veggies into my ground meat. Because I know me, if I just make the ground meat, I'm not going to have any veggies with it. So this is a great way to sneak those veggies in. And these are just frozen, right out of the bag frozen, that's all. There we are. And I'm going to break this up a little bit. As far as how I spice this, fairly straightforward and simple. Again, it's got to have a lot of ginger in it. I get this minced ginger. I'll leave a link to the product in the low bar below. You can find it at most stores nowadays. And I use a heaping tablespoon for the amount because I really like the taste of this stuff. I'm a big fan of ginger. I sprinkle in a little bit of garlic. You can use fresh garlic in this if you want. It does taste different than the granulated garlic. And of course, some salt and pepper. And again, that's to taste. In this dish, I end up putting in probably a little more than a teaspoon. And as you can see, I'm in no rush to necessarily mix it because I'm looking for a nice, almost a caramelization on the peas and the corn on the one side and the meat to brown really nicely. And that's it. Give it a mix. So this is going to take a minute for it to cook. And what ends up happening is, this is a relatively lean pork. You want to make sure that when you go ahead and spoon this out, you don't get all the extra fat. The problem with ground meats is it's really easy to sneak in a lot of fats in there, and cooking them in a pan like this and then making sure you drain the fat out is a good way to get all that extra fat removed. But the good thing about cooking like this as well is the fat from the meat are actually doing the cooking to the corn and the peas. So it almost turns out as if the corn and the peas have a sort of a fried ricey look and texture to them. So if you're a fan of the veggies and fried rice, go for it. You can also dice up some onions and put it in there, or use some onion granules or onion powder. Okay, now this is very lean. There's not much fat coming off of the meat. And there's a little bit there. And what's going to happen, and the way I know that it's basically done, is obviously the pork is cooked through, one, and then two, the veggies, because I put them in there when they were frozen, they're going to soften, obviously, as they cook, and they're going to begin to brown. All the moisture from them is going to come out, and what that moisture does is it actually, you can hear the sizzle sound starting to go down a little bit. The moisture from those frozen veggies are coming out, and all that water is actually helping to amalgamate all those flavors. The ginger has a little moisture in it as well. If you want to, again, it's extra work and extra mess, you can mix everything up beforehand, before you start cooking, and you get a bit more of an even flavor throughout. But if you just want to get things done kind of quick, you can throw everything into the pan. And again, I have it on a high heat. This is served with, you can serve it with rice on the side, or on top of if you like. It's great for that. I have some cold potatoes. I may eat a cold potato on the side as well. I know a lot of people think it's crazy that I eat so many potatoes, but a cold boiled potato, if you eat a pound of potatoes, here's the trick. If you eat a pound of potatoes, it sounds like a lot, kind of is. There's only 350 calories in 1 pound of potatoes. Not the most appetizing thing when they're boiled and left to their own devices. Maybe a little vinegar on them, a little salt. That will fill you up like mad. No other food has the amount of satiety that a potato has. So if you eat, let's say, 16 ounces of that potato, along with whatever you're eating in each potato first, you're going to get full really, really quickly. And stay full. Another nice thing about a potato is that because they have such a high amount of satiety, they also keep you sated for quite a long time. And as far as nutrient density goes, potatoes are fairly nutrient dense. So go crazy. Alright, this is just about done. You can hear the sound of the cooking is changing. That means the moisture from everything that's in that pan is now coming out, or steamed out. And it's going back into, rather than a steaming process, it's going back into a frying process because the residual fats from the meat at the bottom are now frying the food. Alright. And that we will call good. Now, something that I've learned over time is if you can, plate at or near the sink. That way if you make a mess, it's really easy to clean up. There we are. And just like that, you have a lovely ginger pork. You can put a little hot sauce if you like chilies. You can do any of that, sriracha, that type of thing. Fish sauce if you want to tie it up a little bit. And by tie it up, I mean Thailand. They use fish sauce on everything, so you can put a little bit on there as well if that suits your tastes. But great, simple, easy meal to make. That's quite a lot of food. Yes, I'm going to eat it all. But if you're, again, it's very budget friendly because you're getting things, frozen veggies out of the freezer department at the grocery store. Those are really good, fresh, again, cheap. You can get them organic. And they keep for quite a long time. And then the pork itself is obviously ground meat's a little cheaper than regular meat. So anything you can do to make that ground meat taste better, spice it up, however, is really going to make that meal pop. And because I put in all the veggies, technically they're not all veggies, but we'll just call them that, put in the veggies with it, you're forced to eat it. And that way I know I'm at least getting some fiber in the meal and not just eating one big giant pile of meat, which I've been known to do. Anyway, hope you enjoy. Thanks for watching.